Yes, sir. Welcome in, everybody, to the Dream Wager, episode 280 on this lovely Monday, June 19th, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me after a great weekend in sports, our NBA guru, partner in crime, Elvis Acosta. How you doing today, kid?
We're doing great, Dylan. Lovely June 19th. Hopefully, everybody had a day off today. I know I did. I know my boy D Rock did. So we're doing good. You know, ready to start the week off strong, Dill. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we had a day off today. It's finally nice. I went for a nice long walk today. It's not too hot, not too cold either. So weather's just right, ready to get into
For
it
a mid
with you.
June day, Dill, it's perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll recap some news in the NBA that happened. Bradley Beal to the Suns, Draymond opting out of his contract. We'll talk a little USFL playoffs next week. Got some baseball to take care of, and then NBA draft is this Thursday. We got some plays for you there. So, Elvis, I wanted to start with the USFL, but Bradley Beal's a bigger picture. Bradley Beal got traded to the Suns over the weekend. He got traded for. Hopefully, they're waiting on Chris Paul for a third team because Chris Paul's not going to play for the Wizards. He's probably going to get maybe another LA team. But right now, Wizards getting Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and several second-round picks. According to Windhorse and Woj, this was the best offer on the table for the Suns and the Wizards just because of the awful contract, the no trade clause. And, he spent all 11 years in Washington. And the one problem I love Bradley Beal. I think he's a great scorer, but Bradley Beal's missed 74 games over the past 2 years. That's over 55% of the games. He missed 101 games in the last 4 seasons. He only played 50 of the 82 games this season. I think they're all in, Elvis. According to this, they're all in. I don't know if it really addressed it. It was a no-brainer from their point, and I didn't really think it was that bad of a move for Wizards. They're in a total rebuild mode. So, what do you make of the deal, and who do you think won the deal?
No question about it. The Phoenix Suns won the deal. When you were able to give up an overpaid contract, an aging veteran, Chris Paul, I think he was scheduled to make $38 million at the age of 38 years old, though. And at the end, we all know CP3's way past his prime. Could he still give you, double-digit assists? Yes. Could he still give you around double-digit points? Yes. But those CP3 where, you could take over a game and, give you 30, 15, and 6, those days are done, Dill. So, overall perspective, you really traded Chris Paul, Andrew Shaman for Bradley Beal. Overall, Dill, that's a W. If I'm the Wizards and I receive, Chris Paul, Andrew Shaman, a couple of second round picks for, arguably a top 20, top 25 player, I've been bamboozled. So I understand they're in a rebuild mode, Dill, but I guarantee if they would have just waited it out, possibly past free agency, maybe, sometime in August or, right before the season, I think they would have found themselves a little better deal in their favor or better package to get rid of Bradley Beal just because I think the Suns just flat out robbed Bradley Beal. Do I think is the best fit? Is going to work out? It's going to lead to a championship next season? No, I do not, though. But let's just be honest. I think the winner in this trade is the Phoenix Suns by 1,000.
Now, obviously it's a no-brainer. We were talking off air before we went live, and I was saying it's obviously a no-brainer. I think they went kind of all in during the trade deadline last season, acquiring Kevin Durant. They traded away a lot of their picks. They traded away a lot of depth. And you saw it. They're the only real team, I thought personally, that gave Denver a real problem. But the one thing that they were missing that Denver and other teams have is size, because I think who's really going to hurt this from this trade is DeAndre Ayton. Right now, he is on the team, and he benefited from having Chris Paul on that pick and roll, getting him the ball. He's not going to get a lot of shots now. Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker, you're not.
We all know he's not about to get the offensive rebounds to get his own.
Exactly. So you better just stay down low and get boards, my boy. But I think he's going to get hurt. And apparently Shams now is reporting that they're fielding calls for trades for DeAndre Ayton, which makes sense. He was going to go to Indiana last season until Phoenix matched the offer. But I think they need to trade him just because they need depth. They need guys that could come off the bench when KD, when Bradley Beal, when Devin Booker aren't on the court to give them a little lift. So I still don't know if it obviously scoring a ball isn't going to be the problem. It wasn't the problem even without Bradley Beal. My only concern is the depth and on the defensive side because they still got Nikola Jokic and they still got Anthony Davis in the West. Who do you really have to really compete with that?
And Cat, Cat still, Cat. You got
Yeah.
Cat's name.
Yeah, but they got bounced in the first round. I'm talking realistically. Like who in the West could really give who could they really compete with? That's my thing.
Big man wise, right. Dill, I think Phoenix Suns, if I'm the GM, this is what I'm trying to do. We have $32 million tied up to DeAndre and Kevin Durant is 7 foot tall. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to sign somebody like a Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Cody Zeller, Han Whiteside, somebody out there that could, give you, 15 to 20 minutes a night and just, battle the glass. I still think you could get a player like that for a reasonable price. That's one. I think you got to get another point guard because I think Cameron Payne, he's nice, but I think you're still going to need another point guard around him. And then I still think you need another power forward, another small forward, Bill. You have 2 shooting guards. So you don't need another guard. You got arguably two top 3, 2 top 4 guards in the league or on your team. So you're chilling there. But I do believe you trade DeAndre Ayton and try to bring in a couple pieces, though. He's taking up $32 million. You'll be able to sign at least 3, possibly 4 veterans for $32 million, Dill. So if you tell me you're able to surround, Kevin Durant, Book, and Bradley Beal and surround them with a, good, not good, just pretty decent surrounding cast, something like we saw in Denver, something like we saw in Miami. You just give them a couple shooters and an extra big man, maybe they can flourish still. They need somebody like a KCP who could come in, like a Bruce Brown. If I'm the Phoenix Suns, I'm trying to sign Bruce Brown because you saw how he's able to come in the Denver's lineup in the second man rotation and just light it up. So I'm looking to sign a player like that, a shooter, possibly like Duncan Robinson, somebody like that. I need somebody who's when 2 out of the 3 is off the floor, I need somebody that could, say we have we have a 10-point lead. It's not going to dwindle down to 2 or be losing by the time they come back in the game. We need somebody to still put up some points, play some defense, and still have somewhat of a lead when KD and Book return in the game.
Now, I agree. I don't think the point guard position is that big of an issue just because we saw it in the playoffs. Devin Booker was mostly the one bringing the ball up.
CP3 got hurt. Absolutely.
And
he sorry to cut you off there. He
yeah,
played tremendous. He was averaging double-digit assists and was shooting damn near 60% from the field. He was shooting 70% from the field for a couple games.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. He was having his best stretch of his career, bringing the ball up and actually playing the point. I think all 3 of them are going to take turns bringing the ball up and facilitating the offense. I just think defensively, they're going to struggle, I feel like, especially if they don't bring in a guy like you mentioned, Bradley Beal. We just saw Draymond Green opt out. Maybe bring in a guy like that, but he's going to want some money. So
hey, if I'm Phoenix, hey, I'll see if I could if I could snatch PJ Tucker. That's the type of dudes that you need. Like, I remember my back in the day with LeBron, Shane Battier, Mike Miller. They need role players. Remember the Warriors team? They need a Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala. They need those type of role players that's going to come in. They need a big man like Nene. Somebody like that who, he's not going to...
Shout out Jersey, man.
Yeah, Dale, I'm just throwing these names out there, but, somebody that's going to give in there and give you 8 rebounds and 6 points.
And that could actually play against the Nuggets and the Lakers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people talk shit about my man Dwight. Do I still believe my man Dwight can play 15 minutes a night and give you 8 rebounds a night? I do. Yeah. He might get a couple texts. He might get a few foul calls, but guess what? He will catch an alley. He'll block a shot or 2. So
yeah, I agree.
I think that's some type of player you should be in the market for to fill out this team because you need role players who's gonna fit in and do their job and can honestly provide a spark defensively or offensively.
Now, if you look at the odds, Suns went before the trade, they were plus 900. Now they're down to 650 to win the championship. The only other Western Conference team, obviously, is the defending champs Denver Nuggets. They're plus 460. They lead everyone. My question to you, Elvis, is do you believe they're the only team that could compete with the Nuggets now? Because I don't necessarily believe that's the case.
No, Dale, I can honestly name 5 teams out the West who I could possibly see representing the Western Conference next season. Let's start off with the Los Angeles Lakers. When AD and LeBron is healthy, we see how hard it is those two to get knocked out of the playoffs. When LeBron and AD are healthy, Denver Nuggets are the only team to knock them out the playoffs when they're healthy. When the Phoenix Suns did in the first round, AD got hurt and
Yeah.
LeBron getting hurt. Number 2, Golden State Warriors. Man, I'm not riding them out. They earned my respect. That huge Game 7 in Sacramento. People forget how big of the game that was. Give credit to the Lakers on bouncing off the Warriors, but the Warriors are a solid team. If Jordan Poole just had a if he just played like he did last finals run, hey, we probably would have been talking about the Warriors being, the favorite right now. And Dill, I know you're gonna shake your head. I still give Memphis a shot, Dill. When
Over the Clippers?
Dill, I gotta see the Clippers healthy. The Kawhi, he got that knee injury. Did he get surgery? Did you know if he got surgery? I'm not sure. So let's see how that heals up. We all know Kawhi, he's not shy of taking some time off, Dill. So he might start the season on suspension. He might give it to himself. And then my dark horse team will be, Dill, if this guy could stay away from the ladies. We saw them be the number 1 seed for the first month and a half of the NBA season. The New Orleans Pelicans, Dill, I do give them a shot if they can stay healthy, because I do believe Zion, CJ, and Brandon Ingram is enough firepower to make some noise in that Western Conference.
So Woj just tweeted, in addition to Bradley Beal and Jordan Goodwin, the Wizards are including forward Isaiah Todd in the trade with the Suns. Isaiah Todd was the 31st pick in the 2021 draft. He's mostly played with the G League with the Wizards the past 2 seasons.
It's a body.
It's a body. 1.8 million on the books. He's cheap.
Solid. He's solid.
I want to stay on the Clippers just because I think that's a destination Chris Paul could land. I know he wants to retire home back in LA with his family, and everyone's saying him and LeBron. I just don't know. I think returning back to Cleveland, I think him and Russell Westbrook together are actually a good fit, to be honest. And Kawhi isn't a leader. He's not a vocal leader. He's not going to get the boys going. Chris Paul is that type of guy that they need to bring in to lead the team. Now, I know I harp on him, and I'm a critic of him never winning anything, but he does have veteranship that could go hand in hand with a guy like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, who aren't the most vocal. So I think Chris Paul, that Clipper team is a good fit for Chris Paul, because we both agree he's not going to play for the Wizards. So do you one think the Clippers are a good fit? And if not, who do you see Chris Paul maybe landing with?
I could see Chris Paul going to either of the LA teams. I like the Clippers. I like your idea there. Just because I do think him and Westbrook could possibly mesh together. I think him starting, Westbrook coming off the bench, how when he have Chris Paul, hey, they can honestly play 24 minutes each. You don't need Chris Paul playing 30-plus minutes. You don't need to. And possibly him reuniting with LeBron James. We know they're best friends. They've probably been trying to play together for the longest. We know CP3 might still be butthurt from that trade Dan Stern rejected when he was supposed to get traded to the Lakers when Kobe was there back in, 2012, right? Something like that. Remember when Dwight Howard was on the team? And I say 2 of the LA teams. And then, Dale, remember, he did stay in OKC for a year, led them to the playoffs. They're young. They're talented. Some will say they're a star away from making noise. Hey, maybe CP3 go back to OKC, mentor that young group. Remember, him and Shea have a great connection. Maybe something back in OKC, though. You're muted. You're muted.
Thank you. You know, OKC is definitely one I didn't think of, and I kind of like that. They are, I would say, one or two pieces, but definitely if Chris Paul goes, they are definitely a playoff team. They're borderline a play-in team this year.
Exactly. And they'll get Chet Holmgren back. I'm not
Yeah,
saying,
we'll see.
a home changer, but I think he'll improve the team, you know?
100%. He's a rim protector. He could get boards. He's a defender as well. I think Chad Holmgren will be all right. He just needs to
Think
put
about it.
some meat on him.
Shy would still start, and then you come Chris Paul, be a player coach, play about 20 minutes a night.
Yeah.
That team could win 45, 50 games.
Yeah. We also have other news. Literally about, I don't know, about an hour before we came on here, Draymond Green declined his $27.5 million player option for this season. He's going to be a unrestricted free agent. Now, I wouldn't necessarily rule out the Warriors re-signing him, but LeBron's looking there like he's a perfect fit. I think he's a perfect fit for LA. Exactly
Perfect.
what they need. But yeah, LA's on the short list. I think don't rule out returning to the Warriors. His chemistry and just friendship with the whole organization and with Clay, with Steph. I don't know. We kind of knew it. He was hinting at it on his podcast that he was going to opt out. I just think he wants to see what he could get out there, to be honest. I don't think he's going to get a crazy amount of money, but he's definitely going to get more than 27, I think. So where do you see Draymond going?
Still, if he opted out, he has to have some talks with his agent that some team out there, or even it is good,
Rich Paul.
that's gonna offer him at least a 3-4 year deal worth something. Because if you're turning down basically $30 million to join the open market deal, you're basically saying the open market is guaranteeing you more than that. So, is there a team out there that's gonna offer him like, for example, like a 3 year, $60 million deal? I don't know. Is Golden State gonna try to just be like, hey, we'll give you a 2 year 50? Is it that? If it, or just, do you think it's time Draymond just wants a new change of scenery? Because $27 million, 27.5 million not to laugh at, Dale. And to
Yeah.
be honest, I don't see too many teams line up ready to give Draymond $30 million a year.
Everyone's saying on Twitter he fumbled the bag, and then they go, the definition of fumbling the bag is Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, Dennis Schroeder did decline a 4 year, $84 million deal. Think he'll get 100 plus, in the off season, and I think he
That
ended
didn't
up
work
signing
out.
overseas.
My thing is, I kind of like him with the Knicks. I'll take him on the Knicks. I don't know if they'll get it. The number I'm seeing being floating around by reporters and everything is a 3 year, 75 million, about 25, which is kind of what we were just talking about. 3 years, 70, 75 million, which is actually kind of less than what he'd be making this year. But
Yeah,
maybe if
but I'm Draymond, and if it's about the money, though, I'd rather just stay in and Golden State. Because think
I
about it, put
agree.
work. You signed 3 years, 75 mil. In reality, that's only 3 years, $30 million with them taxes.
Yeah.
30 something, realistically.
California taxes a lot now. So
Yeah, but it ain't high as New York.
I was looking at it
Might be.
earlier. I think it was I think New Jersey's like 10.75. I think California's like 11 or 12. They're right up there.
And I think New York like
Y-
13, 12 something.
Yeah. It's bad. I know Texas, I know Florida, I know Tennessee. They don't have a team, but South Dakota they don't have a team, and I know Vegas. They're like the 5, or there's another one I'm missing. They're like state no tax, but they have their taxes in different things. Like they get taxed on clothes, food. Like we don't get taxed on that.
Yeah.
So it's like checks and balances. But yeah, it should be very interesting. Draymond Green, but yeah, overall the Suns, man, I think they got better, yes, scoring wise, but I'll see. If I ask you the question right now, can you see them winning a championship with this team? How confident aren't you?
Do I possibly see them winning a championship? Absolutely. Anytime you have a Kevin Durant on your team, you're live to win a championship. Let's just be real, Dylan. And then you put aside with him, uh, somebody that could shoot 60% from the field and average 25 points a game, and Devin Booker. And then you got somebody that One led the league in scoring and also led the league in clutch field goals made. And Bradley Bill, Dill, you gotta respect that. And people gotta remember they did hire Frank Vogel, who is the
Yes.
best defensive-minded head coaches in the league.
Yes.
Top five coach. I'm not saying he's a top 10 coach. All I'm saying is he's a top five defensive mind in the NBA head coaching staff. So gotta respect that. I just want to see how the roster fills out. Because as of right now, with your boy Isaiah Todd, gotta get that jersey. They only got 5 active players on the team right now. So when I last checked, I think you need 15 for a team, 12 on the bench. Just to play, you need 12. And then
Yeah.
you need 15 current roster. So I got to see how that fills out.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. Don't underestimate Frank Vogel. He is a very defensive-minded head coach. He will get the boys ready to play. The only problem is he doesn't have the players to get it to be a defensive team.
He has, but like this, for between the first quarter to about the 2 minute mark, he will have the best team on the
Yes.
court by a mile. Out of 70 out of 82 games, 70 something out of them.
Yeah.
But from the 2 minute mark in the first quarter to the 7 minute mark in the second quarter, it's gonna be a headache. It's gonna be a headache.
Should be interesting, but yeah, can't wait to see the Suns in action with this new team. And I'm hoping they all could stay healthy because that is a problem with not just Bradley Beal. I know I mentioned it with Bradley Beal missing all those games. Kevin Durant missed a lot of games too. Devin Booker missed games. So they all have their fair share of missing games. So hopefully they could all stay healthy and we could see a very good, interesting Phoenix Suns team. But Elvis, over the weekend, this is how you bounce back 4-0 in the USFL. How did you do as well?
I went 2-1, Dill. Everything went well, but the Philadelphia Stars. It was a great game, by the way. I hope people touched it, watched it last night. But hey, it is what it is. Give credit to Michigan. They pulled it out. They played great football. Can't deny that. But New Orleans Breakers held it down. And then, what was the other game?
The Breakers.
And then the Stallions, -4. Stallions are just a roadhouse. You got to take a minus. Anytime they're minus a touchdown.
Under a touchdown.
So Stallions -4, and then the Breakers -3.5. Both of them rolled with them. And then the Stars, it is what it is.
Yeah, you start Saturday. Pittsburgh, good win, +3.5. Never needed it. Jersey Generals. I don't know what their problem is. They had such success running the ball and then went completely away from the run and said, in elimination game to make the playoffs, we're going to throw the ball all day today. I don't know where that's coming from. They fucking get hosed. So Pittsburgh makes the playoffs. They beat New Jersey 26-6. Like you said, Birmingham Stallions just continue to roll. Great game, I thought. 27-20, 8-2. They win the division, and they're set up to verse New Orleans, who we took as well. Great game, too. Houston had all the opportunities to win that game, and they just didn't take it by the balls and win. I mean, New Orleans turned the ball over, and Houston just couldn't capitalize. So New Orleans will play Birmingham next week. That's going to be a banger, 1 versus 2. And then, like you said, Stars were up 20-6 at halftime and then couldn't score after that. I don't know what happened. They go from possibly winning the division to not even making it. So now Michigan will play Pittsburgh next week. So we got 2 games next week, one on Saturday. Let me just get it up. Pittsburgh will play Michigan Saturday night, and Stallions will play New Orleans on Sunday night. And then obviously the winner on July 1st will go and play in the championship. So can't wait. That's how we bounce back, Elvis. We had a bad week, week 10. Last week we had a great week. So other than that, over the weekend, how was your record?
Still, basically 4-3. I went 2-2 on the diamond, so that 500 there on Saturday's episode, and then ended up going 2-1 on the USFL last 7 days, 5-4. So we're positive though, but we're not doing great. I'm not trying to sell you anything, but at least we're 5-4 last 7.
Yeah, Saturday had a good day. Friday had a good day. Sunday, yesterday, 6-9. WNBA didn't do well for me. That's basically was my Achilles heels. But other than that, I did well on the diamond. Orioles continue to rake. But last 7 days, 47, 42 up 24 units, just because I hit on a few home run props that got me a little above average. But yeah, let's dive into these plays. We got some no day baseball today, but we do have about a few games slated. We'll start. Actually, we'll just go through them, Elvis. How many plays do you have?
Dill, I just got one, and I'm gonna be honest, Dill. It sucks to say this, but it's against your Mets.
Oh, it's okay because I faded the Mets too. I took
Oh, okay,
the
okay. All right,
Houston.
so you hear that, people? You might have to touch the Mets a little bit today, all right? Because Dylan's on the same side as me. That's not good.
Yeah, I mean, no, you can't back the Mets in this spot. That's a little later. Let me start with the first game. A little not at the value that I wanted, but last night I got the Nationals plus 140. I mean, to be honest, these are two bad teams. Cardinals, you can't back them right now. They're awful. They shouldn't be a minus 150 favorite. And Nationals, they're not doing well either, but I got a plus 140 last night, and I thought that was good value. It's down to plus 128 right now with the Nationals. JoJo Gray, he's a little better than Flaherty. I wouldn't say he's much better, but he does give up a lot of hard contact, which is a problem. But I'm going to take a flyer on the Nationals at home. I got him at plus 140. So I don't know. It's up to you for your discretion if you want to take him at plus 128, but that's how I would play this game. The second game I have action on 7:06. I'm going to take the road team, Chicago Cubs. I'm going to take Drew Smiley over Biotto. He's just not good at all. I got the Cubs on the money line at minus 117. I'm going to continue to back them. I also like Carlos Santana over 1.5 bases. He rakes against lefties. So I got him at plus 140. Let's fade Austin Gomber and the Rockies. I took the Reds on the run line minus 120. I also took Matt McClann over 1.5 total bases. He's just been crushing them. He's going to destroy Gomber. I think the Rockies lose big here. Reds, they've won 7 in a row. Don't look now, but the Reds are playing very good baseball. And I want to give shout out because the next team is the Boston Red Sox. Good job. You guys swept the Yankees. By the way, like the yellowed unis. You like them?
Get back like it was 1937, Dill. Come on now.
And Bello, good game. I'm not a Bello fan, but 7 strong innings. Obviously, this lineup is nothing without Judge, but it was a good sign. Get a little boosted confidence. I like that. But I've got to fade you guys now. I'm going to take the Twins travel day. They played Sunday night baseball. They didn't get to Minnesota till in the middle of the night. So bats are going to be a little tired. I'm a Pablo Lopez fan. I'm going to take the Twins here on the money line. Elvis, let's go on over to you. You're taking the Astros, correct?
Dill, taking the Astros on the money line, Dill. The fact that you're getting the short number at minus 120 against the New York Mets in this day and time, I think is a deal. So give me the. I understand Scherzer's on the mound, by the way, and huge respect to Scherzer, but Houston got this deal. Then I got a lean here. I do like Maka Waka in the San Diego Padres tonight against the San Francisco Giants at minus 115. Basically, both of them at a pick 'em, but I do believe Maka Waka is a better pitcher in this situation, and I do believe some way somehow the San Diego backs will wake up. Will they wake up tonight? That's a 50-50, but I do believe Maka Waka could outdo Walker on the mound tonight, Dill. Also do like the Diamondbacks on the road against the Brewers, Dill. I'm staying away from the Red Sox, Dill. We always stay away from the Sunday night team. I do agree with you on that one, but I'm not going to advise the people to take Minnesota now. And then, Dill, my last official play of the day will be even the Texas Rangers on the road, minus 125 against the White Sox, Chicago White Sox. Still, it's just a flat out better team. I understand the Washington White Sox are at home; they got a better shot, Dill. But I do like the Rangers situation. I'm gonna be honest, you might have to even sprinkle something on the run line at plus 125, Dill.
Yeah, still TBD pitcher going for the White Sox, so probably going to be a bullpen spot for them. But like you said, I think the Mets are just getting, I guess, respect from the odds makers just because it's Scherzer on name recognition, where I don't believe that should be the
And
case.
it's Hanley. going for Rangers. Lefty.
Yeah, Andrew Heaney's going, for the Rangers. Yeah, I agree. I just gonna take Houston at home. I think they're gonna bounce back. I just don't like the way this Mets team. They've lost another series to a last place team. They're just not playing good baseball right now. So gonna continue to fade the Mets. I'm gonna take them. I do like Brandon Nimmo though, over 1.5 total bases. I do think he gets on base and he'll get a hit or two. So I'll take Brandon Nimmo on a more positive note. Don't know if I agree on the Padres just because the Giants are a wagon right now. 7 in a row. They just swept the Dodgers coming back home
Yeah,
against Mike.
it's time to cool down just a little bit. And Michael Walker's been doing it all season long. He's been doing this since last season with the Red Sox. What's the
I
respect
just
for
I
Michael?
just can't get in front of that train right now, but I get you. And then the last game, I agree with the Diamondbacks. I do like Merrill Kelly. I just think under the hood there he does get hit a little bit more than I would like. He's a veteran guy, throws his change up a lot. He gets smacked, but the Brewers really don't score that too many runs. I agree on the under. I think there would be a lower scoring game. Corbin Burns is going for the Brewers. The way I angled this one, I took Arizona over their team total 3.5. I do think they score 3 to 4 runs on this team because they're still hitting the ball tremendously. It's the pitching I worry about in this spot. But I also took Ketel Marte over 1.5 total bases at plus 115. I do think he'll get on base. He's been on fire recently. So that's gonna do it. Any other baseball plays that I missed or that I forgot?
Oh, no, there was honestly a short slate today, not a huge,
Yeah.
12, 15 game slate.
Yeah, usually on Mondays it's nice, short, and sweet for us. But before we get on over to the NBA draft, let me tell you guys about Viva Tequila. Viva Tequila Seltzer is the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry on a Thursday watching the NBA draft. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, let's get on over to the NBA draft going down this Thursday, 8 p.m. Now, one problem I did have is I'll probably watch the first couple picks. Then I'm probably going to turn it off. My Knicks don't got to pick first or second round.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro, we traded everything away for Jalen Brunson.
No, it wasn't for Jalen Brunson. Y'all signed him.
For it, who was it for?
Was it Derrick Rose?
If they did that, that's a fireable offense.
Bro, because I'm trying to think who y'all acquired. Everybody, was it Julius Randle because y'all signed him and y'all didn't trade for him?
It's just bad. It's a
Josh
badly
Hart?
run organization.
Josh Hart?
Yeah, probably.
It probably was Josh Hart,
But we did have no fear. You can bet on the NBA draft. And yeah, we have some plays. I'll read you the top 10 because I think that's the most prevalent, or maybe I'll read you the top 14.
Five. Top five.
San Antonio, we already know who they're going to draft. Charlotte is sitting at 2, which they are fielding calls. Maybe they move down. Portland is at 3. What are they going to do with Dame? 4, Houston, new coach. 5, Detroit. 6, Orlando. 7, Indiana. 8, Washington. Maybe they could build off something. 9, Utah, and then 10, Dallas, and then 11 is Orlando. So Orlando has 2 top 11 picks. Elvis, we'll get you your thoughts on the top 3 before we get into any like bets that you can make. One, we all know Victor's going 1, so we'll start with 2. 1, do you think Charlotte's going to trade the pick? And if you don't think that, who do you think they draft at 2?
Still, me personally, I know a lot of people have Miller high on the draft board. Me personally, I'm gonna go with Scott Henderson, second overall. Though If I'm the Hornets, him, LaMelo, I think will pair great. Point guard, shooting guard. I've seen enough from Miller. Do I still think Miller has potential to be a great player? Yes. But if I'm the Hornets still, I think I've seen enough. I'm taking Scott Henderson second overall. If Wembanyama wasn't available this
Scoot Henderson.
Scoot Henderson. If Wembanyama wasn't available this draft, Scoot will be the first overall pick. No questions asked.
Yeah, 100%. I actually have a trifecta, or the three in order that you could make. Yeah.
I think we're on the same boat, though, because
So I agree. I think Scoot is the most, obviously, besides Victor, he's on another planet himself. But I think Scoot is the most talented player in the draft besides Victor. So I have Victor going 1, Scoot Henderson going 2, and then Brandon Miller 3. And you could get that at plus 195. I feel like even if Charlotte doesn't trade the number 2 pick, drafting a ball dominant point guard isn't the craziest, and pairing him up with LaMelo Ball. Am I crazy?
it's not.
Yeah, so I think you can make that bet. It's on FanDuel. You could take the top 3 and you could get plus 195 on it, because a lot of people do think Miller is an option to go number 2 just in case they do trade it. Now, I have heard the Pelicans might try to trade up. They are trying to trade up. Do you think Zion is on the block?
To be honest, realistically, if I'm sitting number 2, I'd rather take my chances with school over um Zion personally. If I'm sitting at 3, I'm thinking about it, because at number 3, is there anybody that's really blowing my mind away? Is Brandon Miller blowing? Who has a third?
Portland.
Portland. Are they blowing Portland's mind away? I don't think so. You got Dame there. If you're telling me they calling up and they're saying, we'll give you Zion for the 3rd pick. If I'm Dame Litter in that front of, hell yeah, I'll take Zion for the 3rd pick. So realistically, can it happen, Dill? Yeah, but will it happen? Absolutely not, Dill. Unless, somehow the Spurs trade Wembanyama for Zion. I don't see that happening.
The NBA draft isn't as exciting as the NFL, where
Nah,
there are so many trades on draft night. I wish it was a little more enticing like that,
you know what
but
it is, Dill? It's not. Excuse me. It's not as much talented players coming in. Like the top 30 NFL prospects could blow the water of, like, the 30th best prospect in the NFL draft is so much better than the 30th prospect in the NBA draft. 30th overall pick in the NBA draft probably won't be in the NBA in 3 years. The 30th pick in the NFL draft most likely possibly a Pro Bowler.
yeah, no, I get that. But you can draft on and make picks on the NBA draft, and I have a few. So you could do the draft position. So, for example, Taylor Hendrickson, his draft position is sitting around 8.5. You could take that over under. But I'm gonna go with Cason Wallace, my guy from Kentucky. I'm gonna go under 12.5. It's at minus 135. You can find that over at DraftKings. He's a two-way player. I think he can start immediately. He's a 6'3" lead guard. He shot 35% from the field, and impressive, he stole the ball 3.7 steal percentage in college. I know it's in college, but I think that can translate just a tad into the NBA. So I feel like he's sitting at 12. OKC's at 12. I'm sitting at like number 9, Utah. I think Utah would be a good fit for him. So I'm going to go under 12.5. You could get that at minus 135. I also have Grady Dick. Great name, by the way. Kansas. His draft position is at 10.5. And I'm going to go under plus 192. I think 10th to the Dallas Mavericks seems like a very good fit. He could space the floor. He has good size. He could defend the rim, and he could also spot up and shoot the 3 as well. So I think Grady Dick under 10.5. I'm sitting there at 10 to the Mavs. I think that's a very good fit as well.
Also
Yeah.
plus 600 to go to Dallas. He's plus 600 as a 10th overall pick. Your boy Grady.
Sprinkle a little on that. So. And we also have it's like matchups. It's like who will be drafted first, and then they pair up 2 people. You can find this on DraftKings. And the first matchup is Keon George of Baylor and Jordan Hawkins of UConn. I think Keon George is the better player. He shot 47% from the field in college, and I think his ceiling is higher than Hawkins. I think a lot of people are going to look at Hawkins and be like, he won the national championship with UConn. He had a nice run in the NCAA tournament. I don't know. I think Keon George ceiling is higher, and I think his overall scoring prowess proves it. Right now Hawkins is a little better of a shooter, but down the road, I think George can become the better pure scorer off the ball. George can create his own shot, not like Hawkins, who Hawkins is a lot more ball dominant that we saw in college. So minus 140 for Keon George over Hawkins. Is that still? Are you looking at the odds in front of you, or no? You
I'm
can't see
trying to
it.
find it, though. I can't find that one. Keon Jordan stuff.
Okay, so last time I saw it was at minus 140. I still think that's good odds for Keon George over Jordan Hawkins. And then my last one, it's the matchup between Anthony Black versus Taylor Hendrickson. Hendrickson, he played at the University of South Florida, and Anthony Black played for Arkansas. I'm going to take Anthony Black. It's choppy. It's minus 190, but I couldn't take the plus money here with Hendricks. He did shoot up a lot in the mock draft in some mock drafts, but I still think it's not lucky, but I don't think it's very likely he gets drafted before Black. Black had a great freshman year, and he sure didn't look like a freshman on the court. He should only get better, and beyond the arc, he needs a little work. Shooting the three, I think he needs a little work, but he's another big, tall guard, 6'6". He's a guard who can defend multiple positions, and I think he could get to the cup without Will. He just needs to develop a 3-point shot, but I think you could learn that. So I like Anthony Black over Taylor Hendrickson at minus 190. So I gave you a few bets that you can make this Thursday and make some money. Elvis, do you have any?
Yeah, I have two that I really like. One more of a lock. The other one is like a sprinkle, which I do believe is a shot though. I like first three exact picks in order though. I like Victor going one, Scoot going two, and then Brandon Miller going three. I'm minus 135. And then Dill, like I said, I'm not too sold on Miller. Maybe some of these GMs are either. I got second one, Victor one, Scoot two, and then Amen Thompson going number three at plus 3,200. Though, I think you got to sprinkle something on that just because it's a small chance. We've seen Brandon Miller slip out of the top three, possibly even top four, because we saw how horrendous he played in that tournament. And to be honest, though, that's when your bread is buttered in the NCAA tournament. You're supposed to perform better, not perform less. And all his stats across the board were less than it was in the regular season.
So if Portland doesn't like him hypothetically at 3, do you think he falls out of the top 5? Because
I don't think he will just because the name,
yeah.
and somebody's gonna be like, no, you got to take him at 4. But if I give it a shot, though, because I know I'm not the only one that didn't like what they saw in the NCAA tournament. Though he averaged less than 8 points a game, he shot less than 20% from the field. Bro, if you're doing that against a top 64 team in college, what's you think gonna happen against a top 30 team in the NBA?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think on name, he's gonna get drafted in the top 5.
Like, no bullshit though. If I'm sitting at 5 and he falls to me and we don't pick him, I'm firing my GM. Like,
Yeah,
you got to make that pick.
I think Detroit would be a good fit at 5. Jaden Ivey, you got Cade Cunningham, you get a wing guy like Brandon Miller who
not falling to 5.
Yeah, he might not fall, but should be very interesting this draft. I'm just mad that the Knicks don't have a draft. But make sure you guys go watch the draft this Thursday.
I might trade up for it.
Hopefully.
No.
I hope. I'm looking. Oh, Portland. We had the 23rd overall pick, but it's to Portland
for Josh Hart.
Yeah. So it's all good, man.
You loved the Villanova boys. You was feeling good.
He was great in the postseason for us.
I can make a case. Y'all see the second round without him.
Maybe. But Elvis, any last words? Any birthdays this week?
No, you gotta stop. That was a birthday every week. Nah, no birthdays this week. Shout out to all the fathers out there. Yesterday was Father's Day, so shout out to all the great fathers out there holding it down. Shout out to my father in DR, man. He's out there living. So, and shout out to your dad, Pop. Your Pop still. My man, Coach Bob, man. He's a great guy.
Bob the Builder. Gotta love it. Shout out all the dads out there. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this Monday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. Follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. You want to watch live, youtube.com/the Dream Wager. Subscribe. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend. Tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe. Be well. And we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.